I am live, apparently, according to that. Right, okay, so this kind of sucks. And I hope everybody who's watching can't hang on the other thing comes and finds me on the other thing. We'll see how we go, because there's nobody watching at the minute. And that's because fucking technology just sucks completely. So I'm now on my, what's it called? Laptop here with a poxy little camera here, which I'm going to have to bring down here to show what I'm doing there. Oh, God. Right, okay, so I'm now going to go on my PC now, and I'm going to see if anybody's actually messaging me otherwise. And I'll tell you what I need to do. I'm going to take this link. Oh, look, there's somebody there liking it. Cool. And I'm now going to put this up here, and I'm going to put this on YouTube like that, and there'll be a shitload of other people who might be kind of like watching me from other places. And it's going to be like, oh, God damn it. And then they're going to be, where's Tim? We're waiting on a thing. And then he appears somewhere else. So this might not go very well. You fucking chump. But I did have to say, new link for live stream. Here we go. No, just fucking post it. Right, cool, okay. Whatever, post original. No, we don't need to post an event. Right, so cool. Okay, so look, hello there, people online. Hello, who's watching? Good evening. Say hello. Let me know who you are. Because, yeah, so far, this hasn't gone very well this evening. So I'm going to go and put this in a couple of other places. Oh, fuck. Right. All right. Nice top. Yeah, thanks, Lorraine. Look. Yeah, Heidi's criticised me a lot because I bought a white T-shirt. But, yeah, you know, hey-ho. Can't be helped. So, hopefully, other people are going to get the kind of like message that I'm, you know, in a different place. It going wrong adds to the charm. Thanks, Jake. No, it doesn't. It just pisses me off no end and puts me kind of like completely out of sorts. So from that point of view, but can you hear me all right? Is the sound coming through? Is my microphone on my poxy little webcam on here working okay? Because you know it's yeah, this is not going to plan this evening. But hey ho. So I'm going to lean over here now to my PC, and I'm going to swear at that. It's my own fault. I'll tell you all about it in a minute when I get myself sorted out. I'm having a couple of crises. Good, cool, okay. Splendid. Right. Now, confession time already. Confession time. All right, Jimbo. Yes, it's been a good weekend. Yesterday was London Film and Comic Con. And today I got a bit sidetracked. Sorry, I just got to turn the heater off. I got a bit sidetracked. I'm late starting because I was doing this, which is kind of important for what I'm going to do tonight because it's a kind of like a rocky kind of clip, kind of rocky outcroppy kind of thing. And you know the thing, you know, it's stones. It's going to be all and stuff. Yeah, but look, my plan had been to get a can of Diet Coke. My plan had been to be using a nice piece of software this week, like OBS, and to be all clever and have two cameras and a microphone and all that shit. And then life got in the way, really. So here we are. Hey ho. So I'm running this off my laptop. So I hope it's okay. Next time I do a live stream, which isn't probably going to be now until after Christmas, because work. I might get myself all geared up with all the stuff that I need to do. So, yeah, so thank you for joining me, folks, who are online. Because, yeah, hopefully other people will come and find me. I needed to really kind of like go out and tell everybody I'm kind of like on a different link, but fuck it. Whatever, you guys are here now anyway. So, yeah, hi. Thanks for coming. Thanks. If you watched last time, am I making scenery for a Lion King game? Fuck you, Jimbo. I had to set this stream up really quickly, and I did click the "this is not for kids" thing because I was kind of irate, and I'm going to swear a lot. Thanks, thanks for watching last time. Just so you know, if you did watch last time, you'll remember that we were making this kit. which is the first of the Magrathea Build a World / Fable Fae kind of like scratch building kits. I've actually got the model I was making. It's not kind of fully painted yet, but there we go. Look, that was the finished thing. And I did most of this during that live stream, which is kind of cool. I've got as far as painting the dry brushing some inside, and I got to finish off the paint job. But actually, for a build, that was pretty neat. I was quite pleased with that. Since then, I have actually made this, which is the prototype for the next kit, which is a forge. So I quite like this. I think I quite like this. So there's house at kind of this end, and then this end, bit on the back, big chimney, forgy bit. We're going to have an anvil that goes under here and all the rest of it. I would have, it's kind of cool because it uses a lot of components from the first kit with some additional bits. So it'll be a different kit altogether with a different gable template, which is kind of neat. So we made some progress. I've got to confess, those of you who watched or haven't watched, or maybe thought, oh, I quite fancy one of those kits, where can I get one? We've been slightly delayed, mainly because my ADHD means I haven't got around to writing down and working out how to do the instructions list. But I haven't rushed because Harry, my friend Harry, who is hopefully watching, certainly his mum and dad are, has had a operation on his spine last week, which is pretty fucking serious, really. And we've all been super worried about him. I mean, obviously not me as much as his actual parents, but yeah, it's a kind of a very stressy thing, and he doesn't need all the stress of kind of like, hey, let's make kits and get them out. So he can have a few days off before we worry about actually kind of like putting this out there. So hopefully, in the not too distant future, we will have both this kit going and a forge kit, and then I'm going to work on a couple of others. And I've even got a really cool idea for a kind of sci-fi Star Warsy kind of kit as well, which is quite neat. But that's kind of like in the future. This is about tonight. Now I've had a bit of a crisis. Not only did I get sidetracked doing this, and I've got others to do, which might get done during this live stream. My other crisis, just to the point when I was like, oh my God, we're starting, I need to be online, and I haven't got anywhere. And was that this is me wand that I've been carving this with, which is fine. But as you can see, there's the green LED that means on, right? There's a little switch for on, off. Hi, Rob. Glad you found me. Here's the on-off switch, and look, it doesn't do off anymore. So my heat wand is just cooking quite happily. So I've got this almost to the point where I want it to be, because tonight, so all I'm going to do is unplug that bit from it. Tonight, I've fancied doing some Necromunda scenery / Star Wars kind of stuff. I wasn't going to do, where's my Star Wars case? Over there. I wasn't going to really be bothered about Star Wars stuff in the next little while, toy soldiers wise, because I've got so many other things going on. Arkworld, OMG, and we hadn't talked about Arkworld, have we, last time? Did we talk about Arkworld last time? We're going to talk about Arkworld this time. You might have seen my video last week about Arkworld, but yeah, I wasn't going to do much with all my Star Wars stuff, although I've got various Star Wars bits and pieces. No, Nick, I didn't finally get it started. I had to restart something else altogether. So from that point of view, it's like, yeah, but I'm glad you're here. So yeah, where are we? Star Wars then. Right, so I discovered Star Wars Legion roughly the same time that I discovered Burrows and Badgers, but the one I decided to invest in, obviously, was Burrows and Badgers, but I did buy a load of Star Wars figures. And I was recently thinking, do you know what? I can't be asked with all the Star Wars stuff. I've got printed ships, and I've got all kinds of other things. Because Star Wars, I don't want to play mass combat games. You know me, I like to play skirmish games. So I wanted a skirmishy system, and then I got a bit fed up when Atomic Mass brought out, what's it called, Star Wars Shatterpoint, because it was very cynical, because they've just kind of like increased the size of the figures a tiny bit, and they cost like eye-watering amounts of money, and I had a whole load of Legion figures. But then I received from my friend Anton, who now sadly has retired from painting models for other people, some, I'd forgotten I'd sent him the figures from the Rebel Splinter Cell. So, and he sent them back on really cool, clear bases, and I got this really nice set of Rebel kind of like troops that could easily be smugglers and various other things. And it's like, oh, actually, I mean, look, it's cool. Look, nice. Not bad at all, eh? So, yeah, right, smart ass Jimbo. So I thought, you know what, I am going to make some Star Warsy stuff. And then I got a message from the guys, one of the guys who runs Sump City Radio, and they were saying, hey, would you like to come on Sump City Radio and chat about your Sump scenery and Necromunda stuff? And I thought, yeah, cool, that's great. I'd love to go on a podcast and talk bollocks to people. You probably noticed that. And then I thought, well, I haven't done anything Necromunda wise for ages, and I do have some stuff in my pile of potential that I could do something with. So tonight, I thought, just for a change, I'd do something with we'll do some kit bashing from workshop. And the cool thing is the kits that I've got in mind. Look at all this preparation I've put in, of course, you know, because there's things that I need over there on the floor. So, yeah, I'll get to that. What I'm using... Oh, shit. Didn't put the top in the fucking figure case. There are now Star Wars figures everywhere in that figure case. That sums up my evening, really. Right, okay. We are, of course, talking about ash waste, hab modules, and even the bigger one of those and one of these. Where is it? This bad boy. Now, so these are the Thatos pattern hab units. These are one of my very absolute favourite kits from workshop, from a scenery point of view. And I think the reason why I really, really, really like them is because they don't actually look like they're 40k models. I mean, obviously they get used in Necromunda in the Sump, out in the ash waste and stuff. That's what they're for. They're ash waste models. But to me, they don't really look like 40k models. One of the things they haven't got is they're not completely covered in skulls, which is kind of like workshops identity, you know. It's their kind of like their thing. They put skulls on bloody everything, and they haven't got that kind of like gothic look, these things. I think they've got a kind of universal sci-fi kind of look. They would work perfectly well on a Star Wars table as well as a Necromunda table. So I thought, as I like building worlds for Star Wars and I want to have skirmishy stuff, I reckon that I could probably do this and make these into Star Warsy kind of things, and they'll work for both. See, the thing is the other thing is that I decided I'd do that with these this evening, mainly because the next bit that I need to build for my Sump build are 2 foot by 1 foot boards of empty water, which I didn't think would make a very interesting video, or even worse, live stream, because it's literally 2 rectangles, some tissue paper, some Mod Podge, and a bunch of glue. There's a lot of drying time and not much else going on. So I thought what I'd do for those plain empty boards is make them so I can use them as plain empty Sump water boards, but also make some sticky up rock pinnacles that I can place anywhere I like on those boards, or take them off completely, but also make the sticky up rock pinnacles so that they're on a hardball base, and that they are not going to be covered in sump water so much, which means I can pick them up and stick them on another table, and then they're just sticky up rock, kind of like pinnacles somewhere else, which is my plan. And then this one, I really like the idea of, look, I've kind of like carved. This is looking very kind of mostly flat here. That's because I'm going to have one stuck on. I'm going to use these pinnacles instead of the metal pylons that these hab units are kind of sitting on. So I'm going to build the hab unit and then stick them onto the rock pinnacles. Obviously, not these Minecraft ones. These still need a bit of work doing to them before they kind of like are ready to use. But I might do some of that this evening as well with my now busted hot stick thing. But what I need to do in the meantime, I think more than anything else, is get on and actually start sticking some of these models together. I have made a few of these in the past, which is good because chances are I am not going to use the instruction booklet. What do I need? I need a kit. Okay, they're going to start with the big one. So I'm going to wave these at you for a minute, and then I'm going to poke the webcam down at the desk, and we can see what I'm doing from there, I think. I love these kits. Very cool, very versatile. If you've never used these before, they're well worth looking at, trying to find. You get, of course, the first thing you get, the standard thing, is the bases. Yeah, sorry, Twisted Razor. I reckon there might be some other people over there, but I broke that, and it kind of like all went a bit wrong, and it's like, you know... So here I am. Glad you found me. So yeah, it might affect the number of people who are watching. Still, there are 24 people on now watching. So from that point of view, nice of you to join me. So yeah, so this is the standard kind of like pylon and platform kind of sprue, which is kind of cool. And then this is the standard hab unit sprue. And then you've got roof and 4 walls. Which is kind of cool. And then you get the other bit, which has got but the weird thing about me is there's 2 fucking doors there. Where are the fucking doors on that one? The bit that annoys me about it, the only bit that annoys me about this model, in fact, is that look, I haven't even opened this one. Oh, I've got one down there that is open. I've got one down here that is open, and I've gone digging through the cack and dug out a whole load of bits, other bits of this model as well. The bit that annoys me is you only get 2 doors. There are 4 holes. 4 holes in the standard one, and then there are 6 holes in the extended one. You still only get 2 doors, which is really pig and annoying. So I've had some thoughts about that. So what we're going to do to start off with is I'm going to cut up one of these, and I'm going to start putting it together. There's a set of instructions, like I said, in the bottom, but I don't need those. Of course, the extension bit, the cool thing with the expanded one is that you just get this extra sprue as well, which gives you an extra top and bottom and other bits. But you still only get 2 doors, which is just a bit crap. But, you know, hey ho. And then, of course, what they do is in the picture on the back, they show both the doors in, but they do show it around the front where they're all... Because, I mean, who builds a house, right? Who builds a house which has got 2/3 of it open to the weather, especially on Necromunda, where you're living in the ash wastes and you've got howling ash storms blowing through your house? It's a bit shit, really. Not forward thinking. But, so what we're going to do. Okay, so here we are. I'm building this model, the extended pattern, deliberately with this rock in mind. Evening, Rob Lock. Evening to... So yeah, this cliff, this rocky pinnacle is the one that I've got in mind that I'm building for. So look, I'm going to aim this down here a bit. This is the best bit of the stream now, because what happens is you mostly stop having to look at my lovely face, and I have to also get to stop looking at myself on the screen in front of me, which is quite cool. So because of this evening's technical difficulties, which might get sorted out for December, For those of you who just arrived, I'm running this off my laptop, which is fine because right in front of me, but there's only one camera. It's a bit shit. So this is my rock pinnacle. I could cut more bits off it, but I'm going to have to cut these up very soon. I mean, this camera position works quite well, doesn't it, really? Evening, folks. Have you missed anything? Right, get you up to speed really quickly, Bricktop. Yeah, I completely fucked up. I was late because I was cutting this out. And then, yeah, computers didn't work. Oh, and I haven't got as far as getting all the other kit that I promised myself I was going to by the time I did this live stream. So I'm doing it off my laptop. So here we are. That's about it. We're making one of these. No, we're not. We're making this one first, but we're going to add it to this Rocky Pinnacle rather than stick it on his stanchion. So, like I said, this is the good bit now because here it goes. Right, so down here, what I've done then, so I've made this Rocky Pinnacle first of all. It's got a hardboard base. It's got 3 layers of 50mm XPS foam, which I cut out, stuck on, and then went at with my heat wand. For those of you who just arrived, my broken heat wand, because I can't now turn it off, which means I have to order a new one. Because what I want to do is have the hab unit kind of like perching on here, then it might have to have some kind of thing supporting it there. But what I need to do is build the basic parts of the hab unit first of all before I do any kind of like clever stuff. So I am going to need this. I am going to need this. And I am going to need one of these, which is cool. So, and I did get myself organised a little bit today because I did go out and buy myself a new, steady on, bottle of polystyrene cement, mainly because I wanted to make sure I definitely had enough glue to do this. So, right, all we're going to do first of all then is clip off the base bits off this model. That's where I feel like I really ought to do a Blue Peter thing. Go, here's one I prepared earlier, but sorry. Okay, clip. Actually, I've probably got base bits of this. But this is live, so what the hell. 1, 2. It's weird doing this where you have to make sure everything can be done on camera. Although I did actually watch back my Arc World video the other day and realised that there's loads of times when I'm just utterly crap at this kind of thing and you don't get to see what I'm actually waving around at the camera at all because I don't actually look at where it goes. So how's everybody been? All right, we all good? Have we had lots of hobby this week, or are you kind of like me, not really kind of keeping up? My work is about to kick off. This is the last Sunday off that I've got between now and Christmas because the big beard is about to swing into action next week. And I'm going to have to start being nice to kids on the weekend for the whole rest of November and most of December. Okay, so here are our 2 end pieces, and because this is the extended unit, we need this bit here. Let's clip this off here. So, yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be quite a versatile model. That's very much the idea. It's going to be a... Make sure you don't clip off that bit. That bit looks like it's supposed to be there. Oh, no. It's very much the idea that this is a versatile model, and I'm going to break all my normal rules. My normal rules being that I use 40k scenery for 40k and Star Wars scenery for Star Wars, and they're the twain shall meet. But on this occasion, this stuff is going to be more versatile than that. So here we go. Now, what would be really useful, Tim, is if you had a stand knife around as well. It's over there. I'll go and get it. Hang on. 2 seconds. Here we go. So this is quite a bit of a palate cleanser for me, actually, because the last couple of weeks I've quite enjoyed painting figures. Yeah, no, steady on. Arc World figures. And evening, Rob. All good. Played Song of Blades and Heroes today. That's cool. I don't know what they are. That's cool. Did you have a good time at LFCC, Nick? Yeah. It was interesting kind of little con, actually. Quieter in the winter time. I did get to meet Aid Emerson yesterday, though, which was quite cool. So, right, okay. So, look, here's the extended bit of that. That's going to go on there like that. I'm just dry fitting this for a minute because, you know, I'm not doing anything stupid like looking at instructions or out. There we go. Obviously got some bits to trim up there because that's not going together super beautifully yet, but there we go. So that's the base unit for this build, which is okay because oh mate. Well, actually, Gary, for the Christmas Inn, it's quite good fun as it goes at times, but it's exhausting. So, right, what do I need to do? I need to clean this up a little bit more. That's the problem with using clippers, is the fact that it doesn't come off super clean. I'm going to wield the poly cement. I'm using a nice new clean blade. Yeah, it's... Yeah, I'm hoping that there are people in Necromunda communities going to find me this evening because I did post on a number of places that I was doing this. So I do know that quite a few people watch my channel because of my Necromunda builds. And after all, that's where I started doing 5 years ago now, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, I basically thought I can't really go on Sump City Radio in the next little while if they still want me and be able to talk to them without talking about stuff that I've done recently. So it's one of my reasons for being back in the Sump tonight. But yeah, all good, all good. So yeah, how are we doing? The only problem with this now is the fact that the way I've got my laptop screen pointing down here, because the other problem is my PC wouldn't recognize the fact that I've got a webcam attached to it, and I didn't have the time to fuck around with it and try and persuade it otherwise. So apparently something else is using it, which is a lie. Right. Okay, so is it going to go back together there? That's better. Right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is that this building is going up on here. So clearly, do you know what? I would like to say that I measured that and that was done on purpose, but it wasn't. It was guesstimated, but that's going to do quite nicely. Right. Obviously, I'm going to have to cut off these bits here. These are the part of the cool bit of these models because it's where all the other things clip on, like the extra platforms and stuff. But I'm not going to need those on that side, so let's just lose those completely. Ping, 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 like that. Clean that up a little bit. A reason why I decided, I've been thinking for ages about burying some of these things in the side of a rock face, which is kind of cool. And I decided that I'll bury this one in the side of the rock face because of the aforementioned lack of doors that I was talking about. So if I bury this in a rock face, the back doors, put back two wall sections, won't be quite as obvious. Right, okay. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Bricktop. It's upside down, though. What's upside down? What's upside down? Let's do that. I'm doing that like that. I'll do that like that. And then that's going to go on there. Like that. See what I got? See that? Can you see that? Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a bit... I'm going to have to have a stand. I'm going to have to do something, have a pile or something down here to support the underneath of it because there's not enough of that buried in that rock face. But, yeah. Well, that's going to be an interesting challenge, isn't it? Right, okay. So next bit then is produce the next part of the model. No, stick this together. Solid. Here we go. Okay. The polystyrene cement. Ping. Glue, glue, glue. Stick, stick, stick. Stickity stick. Alrighty. Now, yeah, I reckon you're right. Sand people on it. I'm going to have this on a kind of like a water kind of world. I mean, there are loads of possibilities. I really like it as a just a really good generic kind of sci-fi hab unit type cool piece of scenery. And I'm going to do, I've got this extended hab unit and 2 others. So there'll be a collection of them. There'll be a little settlement with the odd raised walkway as well. I just don't want to rely on just entirely on the metal bits. And I also like the idea of having kind of like islandy, rocky bits coming out of the sump or out of the, water one way or another. Right, okay, so that's kind of like glue in there. And while that's doing that, right, it's not upside down now. It's up the right way now. Look, that's the bottom, which is kind of cool. And that's that bit there. So that's going to do that. Yeah. And but it is definitely going to need some support from over here, one way or another. I'm when I've got apart from anything else, I think I'm going to have some of these. One of the things I like about this kit is that if I can find the right bits, where are we? All these bits are spruce somewhere. These bits here hang down. So they'll hang off the edge, which is quite cool. And then, I might put some kind of watch type tower thing on top of it. The only one of these kits that I haven't explored yet is the heavily armored one. It's like a fortified one, which is quite cool. I quite like the look of that. It's got kind of gun points and bits and pieces. Right, okay, so I'm going to, what's next? I'm going to make the roof next. I'm going to make the roof next because I'm going to want to stick the walls on, and I'm going to stick the walls on and put the roof, but then put the roof on top of it to hold the walls in place while the walls stick. So, roof pieces. Here we go. It's very interesting, actually. I mean, I've made a number of these. I don't need the instruction booklet really for this part of what I'm doing tonight. But actually, the making this model for our fancy scratch build kit, and then designing this model for our scratch build kits, the discipline of writing a set of instructions, putting together a set of instructions is actually really quite a challenge. Just working out the order you did things in, especially as when I made that model live, I did it in the wrong order because I wasn't using the set of instructions. Enter the daughter. It's very quiet in here because I'm live streaming. Look, child has just arrived. And I'm streaming on my laptop because I fucked up on my PC and I haven't got all the kit and stuff. So it's all good. But can you let the dogs out every now and then? That'll be handy. They have been fed. If they say they haven't been fed, they're fucking lying. That's good. Right, okay. Yeah, pup update for you then. Yeah, they're all hungry. But they're always hungry. Yeah, that was my daughter Freya, who I must have shared pictures with you. Freya, she got engaged. My kid got engaged. October, Halloween. Bless. She wasn't being a vampire. Oh, I haven't told you about the vampire thing, have I? But where are we? Yeah. Oh, come on. Jesus, this has got so many injecty, holdy on bits. So since I last saw you, because the last time I was live streaming, of course, was back in the first half of October, we did our Halloween ball at the Natural History Museum, for those of you who know what I do for a living. And whilst I was at the Natural History Museum, we had an absolute blast. Lots of happy people, lots of vampires, lots of gunfires, dropping bodies, that kind of thing. But Freya, it's her absolute dream gig, was away in Disneyland Paris with her partner, and he proposed to her. Oh, bless. Not that it makes an enormous amount of difference because, they're not going to get married till they got their own gaff, and the chances of them ever moving out of my gaff are pretty fucking slim. So from that point of view, but it was nice. It was kind of cute. But Right. Okay. So look, we're just trimming up the middle bit of the roof here, and then that's gonna go on the other side. So I think the question with this is here's a question for you all. Yeah, did you really, Nick? Yeah, so did I. Heidi and I, we had our honeymoon in Paris at Christmas, 1998. So we spent Christmas Day and Boxing Day at Disneyland because nowhere else was open, which is kind of cool. Right, here's a question for you all. Very important because we've now been like streaming for over half an hour and I haven't said the word at all yet. This is a sci-fi build, right? Especially predominantly for Necromunda, but also for Star Wars. In your considered opinion, how much whimsy can we get into a sci-fi game? Can grim dark be whimsical at the same time? Can Necromunda be whimsical? And Star Wars certainly can be a bit more whimsical, I think. But either way around, that must be now 2 or 3 drinks if you're playing along from that point of view. So what do you reckon? Chuck down in the comments. Tell me if you think in the chat, if you reckon. Yeah, why not? Well, you know, I suppose it depends what your definition of whimsy is. Can whimsy be grim? Cool. Philosophy on a Sunday night. Look at that. Or does the level of grim, does grim kind of like balance whimsy? Look at that. What I'm trying to say, really, more than anything else, is right. Is it legit for me to use the W word a lot when I'm doing a sci-fi build in the way that I would be when I'm doing a fancy build? Right. Okay. So look, now let's put that back down here. This is now the roof sticking to some extent, although clearly it's not sticking very well. I don't know what I've done there. Must be something else I haven't trimmed up. I can put what's cool about the roof sections is they also have these. It's really clever, this stuff, because this is made to take either another pylon, so you could put another bit on top of it, or it's got these kind of like different hatch things that can like help lock the whole thing together, which is quite neat. But yeah, so what are we doing now? Yeah, look, this thing here. That'll cut out and sit on that, and then that will kind of hold that together. Right, so while that's gluing, doing a good job there. Now going to cut out the 4 wally bits. Well, I'm going to need 6 wally bits because you get 2 extension wally bits. So you get these 4 corners, and then you get 2 extendy bits here and here. So we need those 6 bits. Going to make the wall. Oh yeah, bring it on. And then it's funny, I do really like making a kit. I like kit bashing, but actually these kits are so damn good. You don't do much bashing, you just do clipping and sticking. But yeah, what I like about them is it means that it's something a little different to the standard munitions container accommodation that everybody, including my good self, makes for Necromunda. I like to think I was one of the first doing it like 5 years ago or so. Everybody does it these days, but you know, because the best bit about those kits, frankly. And then clip that, clip that, clip that, clip that, clip that. Yeah. Oh yeah, the other reason why I was a bit delayed in my organisation this afternoon is that we kind of finally sat down, having had a busy day yesterday, sat down for 5 minutes with Heidi on the sofa this afternoon and just kind of sit and chill, and lo and behold, we both fell asleep. Getting old, you see. Right. Okay. So, Atwood Treads. I reckon we're way past 3 or 4. I must have said the W word, at least half a dozen times now. So if you need to catch up, well, that's got to be a whole pint, hasn't it? Right, frankly. Fortunately, I on the whole have to limit myself. I don't really drink at all, actually. That's the other amusing thing about the Whimsy game, is that I don't really drink these days. Hardly drink any alcoholic. You wouldn't believe me. Hardly any alcoholic drinks this year, apart from anything else. They are not. They don't go great with a diet. I've lost nearly 3 stone now. Okay, so good evening, Anfield Road. How you doing? Sorry, I was. If you kind of like was somewhere else, I cocked up with the stream and all the rest of it. I am building a Necromunda. I put some Necromunda ash waste hab units together so I can use them for Star Wars, because my theory is they don't look anything like Necromunda, don't look anything like 40k things. So I'm going to use them for both. But they are going. There's my roof done now. They're going on rocky pinnacles rather than on metal pylons. So what I now like about this is there's my floor stuck, and I'm literally going to stick on my wall section. They kind of go on and should just sit in really neatly. It's just such a damn cool model. I mean, the whole thing, the whole shape of this thing, the reason why I like it is that, it looks cool on a Necromunda table, but the shape, it just doesn't smack of 40k at all. Weird. I don't know what it is, but the lack of skulls is an absolute bonus. The problem is, Atwood, is if I keep saying the W word too many times, not only will people not be able to concentrate, they'll all be out of it on the living room floor, and then it's like, or their office floor, or the bedroom floor, or wherever the hell you're watching this from. Right, okay, now that's interesting, because I sit there going, I only need to cut out those 6 bits, but clearly there's got to be a bit that goes in here. Let's go and see if we can find that. Here we are. Is that it? That could be it there. Right, those bits. Good. Found them. These 4 bits here must go in between. Now, in some ways, you would have had some of this done already, Tim, so you could get on straight away with the kind of like the interesting bit, which is the converting it and sticking it on the wall. But, solving the problems. But, no. Oh, look, a bit's fallen over. That's about right for me. All right. Okay. What way round do they go? They must go that way round. Turn this back round. In there like that. Get in there, you little fecker. Glue, 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 glue. All the way around there like that. And then that side there. 1, 2. Stick that in. Bob's your auntie's living lover. Very good. Right. Tidying up the house while that's fair enough. That's cool. Don't forget, go and clear out your kids' rooms for all the crockery. Yeah. Okay, so that bit there has got to go in there like that. What was that thing about? Right. Oh, that's still going to need to join together there. All right, okay. It's very, very clever. I know some people nowadays don't like plastic kits and workshop stuff and blah, 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 blah. It's all soulless and it's all made in a computer, but that's because you really couldn't make this stuff, kits like this, without computer-aided design these days, I don't think. The clever moduleness of the whole thing is just absolutely brilliant. How they use all the same pieces.
how to utilize it and stuff. And then the amount of extra details you get is awesome. Right, okay, so we're nearly there. This is a really quite a big thing. You might have seen, I've definitely used these before, in Magrathiel and this is why I don't normally live stream, because if I cock that up normally in my other videos, I can edit it out. Oh no, Gary, what's that, man? Right, cool. So here we go. Sticking that bit on there. Look at this bit. Look, there we are. Oh, look. Is that still up the right way? Yeah, cool. Okay. Glue in there. What a televisual feast this is this evening. Sticking that on there. Like that. Oh, I lost a bit. Have I not cut it off the sprue? What have I done with that? For fuck's sake. Oh, there's another bit there. Good, right, okay. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Oh, I haven't lost a bit. I have lost a bit. Oh, that's one I need. I still have lost a bit. No, I haven't lost a bit. I just can't count. Right, cool. Okay. Nearly got my walls assembled. Then I think what I might do for a few minutes is plug my heat one back in and have a go at carving another one of these little rocky pinnacles, purely because I need to give this lot a chance to dry. I love working with poly cement, but it really does need a few minutes of not being handled. Glue in there, glue down there, glue around there. Here we go. Right. So, 1, 2, a bit there, a bit around that. So, people watching this evening, do you play? Answer me this. Obviously, quite a few people who watch my channel watch because of Necromunda. Do any of you play Star Wars based tabletop games? Do you play Legion or Shatterpoint, or have you played other Star Warsy games, as well as everything else? What else do you play anyway? Tell me about what other games you're here for. What other games do you play that I play, like B&B? Do you play Arcworld? We haven't started that, but we're about to, painting loads of figures for it. Are you a historical gamer predominantly? And do you only play one system? Do you not play at all? Do you just make models? What is your hobby like? Right, look, while we do that. Okay, so there's my basic unit. Can't say, oh, right, cool, okay. Just model and convert. Yeah, well, that's fair enough. I mean, one of the things that I like about Frostgrave. Right, nice, yeah. Rob, do you have a dedicated Frostgrave table, or do you just play with generic fantasy scenery? Have you got like loads of snow and ice? Yeah. Right, so here's my the hab unit, which is going to sit on there, which is quite cool. It's going to have little windows sticking up there, which I could block up with other bits of rock, but that was the idea. And now, of course, the other problem is that even more. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to cut a bit more rock away as it goes. Now I've built
one of the things I didn't realise, B&B, JD, and 5 leagues from the 5 leagues from the Borderlands. Oh, did we talk about that at Salute? Was that again? Yeah. Right, instant thing I've just discovered, hadn't taken into account, is that when I stick the walls on this base, it's made the whole thing another 5 or 6 mils wider. So I might actually chop some more of this rock off so it can sit on there, which would probably be better. Any game with more than 10 figures of size should be banned. I couldn't agree more, Jim. Look at it. Oh, look, Jesus. Yeah, that's nice. Right, so too many rules in these games for me. I tell you what, if you want to play a fantasy game without too many rules, if you want, I'd strongly recommend Ark World, right? Well, I haven't actually played the game yet. This is the rule book. One of the things, it's not that big. Look, it's like less than A5 size to start. There are only 61 pages in it, in the rules. I mean, loads of the stats, and they're all somewhere else. But it's kind of like, it's almost printed with me in mind. Look, because it's got big print and hardly any text on each page. So actually, in a proper edition, you probably get this onto about 4 pages of A4. But it's a really rules-like kind of game, and lots of negotiating with your opponent, which is really kind of cool. I'm really looking forward to playing this with the guys. And Harry and Gary and little Ted and Heidi have already got painted warbands for this now, so it's kind of cool. Right, what do we need? We need 2. Oh, look, somebody else who's I'm responsible for playing B&B. Well, of course, it's Jim. Right, okay, so here we go. Here is the broken heat wand. For those of you who have only just arrived, I was cutting out this Rocky Pinnacle earlier with this here heat wand, which I've now managed to break the on-off button. So the only way I'm doing this is by plugging it back in. I'm going to give that a minute. Talk quietly amongst yourselves while that heats up. So the first thing I'm going to do, and for some reason it kind of comes out real easy now, which I'm sure is not part of the plan. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slice down a little bit more of this so my hab unit sits further across it. Then we're going to think about how we're going to build out and protect it from there. But yeah, look, I mean, I think this is more Star Warsy, more whimsical as a hab unit kind of thing than Necromunda deserves, really. Look at that. That's kind of cool. And my plan is to have it so that this bit sits over here, and then it doesn't matter that they haven't got kind of windows in the back thing there. Then I've only got to block up 2 of the things, and then it's going to sit like that, you see. I need some things sticking out of the rock there to hold it up, but I think that's going to look really kind of cool. Quite whimsical, no less. And what we're going to do here is that will reach across. See if it's hot enough. Yeah. I mean, this is not a very sophisticated bit of kit, I've got to confess. And it's probably high time I bought a new one anyway. Yeah, it is going to have a certain amount of... I think you're right. I mean, that's always one of my problems with making Star Wars stuff. One of the reasons why printing Star Wars scenery is so tempting, because so much Star Wars scenery is kind of like dome shape. Picked up a really cool book yesterday. Oh, crunch. For a book stand at LFCC, which was the art of Rogue One, which is really neat. And it's got loads of stuff in there but you know, the designs for Jeddah and various other bits and pieces. There's loads of domes. Star Wars got lots of domes. Domes are really hard to make. But a piece of cake to print. It is a great book. I've got, not only is it that, I've also got that goes alongside it the art of Solo movie as well. And I really like that kind of thing. It's
This is my Star Wars shelf over here. He says not being able to get his not quite as bulky belly as it used to be. This is Star Wars over here, and then this is Lord of the Rings here. Yeah, all Lord of the Rings. And then that's Judge Dredd, and then loads of Necromunda there, Burrows and Badgers. Yeah, quick tour of my gaming books. And then Osprey's up there, and then Call of Cthulhu and Cthulhu by Gaslight and stuff. So right, okay. Right, okay, nice. So Ian, who's just arrived, or hasn't been here very long. No, so the idea with this, Ian, is that my next build logically for the Sump actually needs to be, oh look at that, here we go. 2 foot by 1 foot Sump waterboards. Literally 2 rectangles of plywood with my tissue paper, Mod Podge, and paint mix on it to make up 2 blank bits of Sump water. And then I thought that would make a really, really dull video. So I'm making these instead. So these are going to be freestanding, so I can move them around those blank boards or take them off those blank boards if I want to. And then I'm doing them in such a way that actually I'm going to be able to put them on other tables as well. So I could use them in the ash waste, for example, or on a Tatooine table, as several people have already suggested. So here we go. I'm just cutting through this with my hot wand. Where do I play? Hang on. Depends what we're playing. If we are getting together as a whole group, and I have a small group of a gaming group, we're called Spirit of the Game, really, I suppose, which is an old moniker that I've used for about 20 years now. If all of us are getting together, we usually either play at a friend's house, Mike's house, or at the place that I built, Time and Space. I did all the which is a steampunk venue that we play in. If we're only gathering a few people, I play on my kitchen table, well, the peninsula in our kitchen, or often round at Gary and Harry's place. It's I'm not a club player. I don't like playing at clubs. We aren't a club. We're just a gaming collective, and a group of mates, really, dads and lads, which is kind of cool. And actually, the problem with getting organised games is, and organising all of us, means I don't play as much as I want to. And one of the things I've decided to do this winter is just play more games. Stop fucking around, talking about it, play more. What we're doing, the next thing I'm doing on Tuesday night this week coming, I'm going to play a game of Middle-earth strategy battle game, and I haven't played one of them for about 20 years. But I'm going to be playing the whole of the Scouring of the Shire campaign, hopefully this winter. That's 16 games. I'm going to make bat reps about them as well. And the nice thing about it is the fact I've got all the figures painted for that now, because I've had all of them painted for me. I'm busy building scenery, different bits of scenery and stuff for it. But they're little games. They're played, most of them on 2 foot by 2 foot boards, most of them with only minor heroes. Ages since, like I said, since I played Middle-earth strategy battle game. In fact, I haven't played Middle-earth strategy battle game since before it was called Middle-earth strategy battle game. It just used to be called Lord of the Rings. I'm really looking forward to that, along with playing Art World, which is kind of cool. Which is another game we're going to get a lot of play with. I still need to play some more B&B. And Carnivale, which we're still busy painting figures for too. Right, so look, I've sliced that down there, and now hopefully that's going to take more of that on there, which is cool. That's going to have less sticking out the side. Still definitely going to need a stanchion or a pylon or something. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but that's quite nice, and that still covers up from this side. It covers up quite a lot like that. So what I'm going to do for a minute is I'm going to put this this to one side just to let the glue go off a little bit more. And while I've got a hot wand hot, I'm going to sit and carve up my Minecraft pinnacle. Which one should I do? There's a little one. So I sat down with my Proxon this afternoon and cut up some 50mm XPS, and now I've got these. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this one. This one I've done so I can have a little platform here that'll have parts and bits and pieces out here. Yeah. Right. Okay. Here we go. Let's cut this up. So what I like about this bit is that, well, what I'd like even more is if my hot wand was not shagged, is that you can't really get this bit wrong at this stage. All I'm really doing is just trimming stuff off, starting at the bottom, going around the hardboard base, to get the rough shape. I'm using the hardboard base as a guide. And I'm going to have to open a window in a minute. Want to get high, so high. Get some Cypress Hill on. Yeah, also another idea. Cheers, Gal. Plenty of fruit to cut. Yeah. There we go. Let's bring this back down here. Yeah, it's not smelling too bad yet, but then I've only done a little bit of polystyrene, but it's going to get honky in here in a minute. I might have to open the door. I have a fairly high tolerance for this stuff. Unlike the rest of my family who moan and complain if I go and do it in the house. So, sat out in the workshop. Much better plan. I suppose I could have left me Proxon set up and cut this bit out, but then you still can't do the fine detail stuff. So. What did you do on Sunday night? Oh, I watched a bloke cut out some polystyrene with a hot wand. Wow. You don't need to get out more at all, do you? No, not at all. Nor does he. Right, okay, so cut off the edges. And now I'm just going to come up, start on this bit here, I suppose. I'll cut all the way down. I'm suffering for my art. Hang on a minute. I'm going to open the door. Actually, yeah, it's going to. Can you see that? Can you see that smoke? But then it will get cold. Right, 2 seconds. I'm going to open my door. Right. Don't go away. I'm going over it. Like that. Right. Jesus, a fucking dog. Where did you come from? You're supposed to be in the house. Soka. Come. Soka, come here. Quick update. Well, I think. Oi, Divvy. Come here. Hurry. Sounds like a cue for a song. Come here. Say hello. Say hello. Ahsoka says, who let the dogs out? Arr, 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 arr. Right. So, office assistant now. Of course, the other. That's what happens. That's what happens when you have a dog. You go, right, that's fine. Clear off. Go on. Right, there she go. Right, so yeah, that was, for those of you who don't know, that was Ahsoka. That's our largest of our 3 dogs. She's a Newfie. And she weighs, 84 kilos. Hello. And this... And this is Chewbacca. Chewie, up here, look. Say hello to everybody. Look, pup date, live pup dates. This is Chewbacca. He's the oldest of our 3 Newfies. He's got 3 Newfies. He's slightly smaller than Ahsoka. He is only 65 kilos or so. Yeah, so let's in old money for any for people watching who aren't Old school. Yeah, they are lovely. Soaky weighs 2.2. Soaky weighs 184 pounds. It's about 13 stone, I think, which is heavier than quite a few people watching. So, right, cool. Okay. Now, where was I? Oh, I was can up. So, right, good. I wasn't expecting there to be dogs in the garden. So, where is everybody this evening? Check in with me. Where are you watching from tonight? How many of you guys are in the UK? Have we got anybody across the pond or anywhere else around the world? I'm always so gobsmacked by the power of the internet and the fact that we can be watching with people around the world. Western Supermare, that's yeah, super across the. It's almost across the pond, Western. You know, I mean, it's by the pond, nearly. New Zealand, respect. Netherlands reporting in. I'm loving it. Oh, well. See, I mean, how cool is that? I mean, I moan and complain about the internet these days, and I'm a bit of a crusty old git, really, about that kind of thing. But the fact that we've got people here watching in Scotland, in Arizona, in Stockport, top job, over in the West Country, almost in the Atlantic Ocean, and then people on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, and then in New Zealand as well. So in Massachusetts, hang on a minute. If you're called clubbing in Miami, how come you live in Massachusetts? I mean, they're kind of like a little way away from each other, aren't they? Shouldn't that be like clubbing in Boston or something? Now, cool. Okay. Right. From Miami, living in Massachusetts. No, I get that. Okay, that's cool. Beardy bloke? How very dare you, Nick? So, okay. So, what's the time now? It's 10 to 9 in England. We've been on for an hour or so. So, how far behind are you in Massachusetts? Are you 5 hours behind? Is that about right? What's the time in New Zealand? What's the time where you are, Zane? Painting halflings mainly tonight. Excellent. Rob, what are you painting halflings for? Which system? 9:50 a.m. 9:50 a.m. Sunday morning. That's cool. 1:49 here. Cool. Okay, 3:50. So you guys are kind of having a nice chilled afternoon, or in Zane's case, kind of like late morning. And yeah, here we are. It's in the evening. Come on, Rob. I need to know now. What are the halflings for? What system? What are you painting for? Lots of halflings. Are you painting Middle Earth halflings? Are you painting Ark World halflings? I've just painted some Ark World halflings. They were good fun. Are you painting? Excellent. What's coming on? Evening, Matt. Nice to see you, mate. Fair play. But you still haven't explained, Miss Crockett, what system your dragon is for that's going to be eating the halflings in. Are we talking like Smaug here, or are we talking kind of like something else? Come on, cough up. I need to know. Harefoot jousting. Okay, cool. Fair play. Is that the TT combat one? I know the guys who do Harefoot jousting. Songs of Blades and Heroes as well. All right, cool. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. All right. Okay. So look, I've got a bit of a flat. Shall I keep the top flat? So I'm going to put a bloody. Yeah, of course I'm going to keep the top flat. It's going to have a platform on it. Right. Okay. I was going to ask you whether I should keep the top flat to put figures on it, but as it's going to have a base on it instead, yeah, it needs to have a flat top. I am going to have at least one rocky pinnacle that hasn't got anything on it at all, mind you. But oh, it's like a hot knife through butter. This. Good. Right. Cool. Lovely. Look at that. Look at that. What is people doing hobby on a Sunday night? It's kind of cool. I like it. I'd suggest you do, Eric, or find them online. If you're FLGS does them cheap in the workshop. I mean, over here in the UK, we have companies who sell them at 10-20% cheaper than workshops sell them themselves. Wayland Games, I seem to remember this big unit came from, and it is quite nice. Apart from the fact that this bit keeps falling out, and I bust the switch. I can't turn it off, so I'm gonna have to get another one. But it does do the job quite nicely, certainly for this point of view. I mean, XPS is high density, so it's a lot harder to cut through than the bobbly stuff. But yeah, it's working all right, and you can kind of cut interesting shapes into it. Like this. Look at that. Cut. I mean, this kind of terrain, this is actually quite cool from a... If you make it like this, do it the way I'm doing it on basis so you could pick it up and stick it down anywhere, and you made it in suitable, sympathetic colours, you could use it for messer kind of scenery, for cowboys, Wild West games, you could use it for kind of Tatooine kind of games, Star Warsy kind of stuff. Use it in fantasy games, Gorka Morka back in the day. Yeah, they're quite handy kind of things to have. I often use real stone for a lot of stuff, but this kind of thing where you actually want flat surfaces and want to be able to put bits and pieces on it. I will cover these in coral sand probably, which will then give it a nice texture to paint. Well, yeah, I'd see. I could use it for train layout. Trains is another thing that I would love to have done, but there's just not enough meat. Again, I wouldn't necessarily need to run the trains around it. It's the modelling aspect of it that really appeals. There we go. Look, I've got loads of junk there. That is not going in the cack box. That is going in the bin. Here is another one of those platforms that I had earlier, which is going to see that I'm going to just kind of stick that together. He says, not being able to stick it together, you fucker. And that's going to sit kind of on the top of that, like that, you see. And that'd be kind of neat. And it's a different height to the other models, which is kind of key. So there'll be kind of platforms going up from one to another. In fact, I'm quite tempted to chop a bit more of that off, actually, so it's a bit lower still. Let's do that while we've still got hot rod. This is where I need a prox on, because you just go through it with it. But it's over there. I put it away earlier. But yeah. Bosh. That's not bad. It's quite flat. That'll do. Rocky bit. Bung that away. We'll do another one in a minute. Let's just trim up this bit so I can see what I'm looking at. Oh, nice. Nice. I had one of those. Serpentine Dragon. I painted mine blue. And I'm pretty sure I had a halfling or something riding on it back in 1987 or whenever it was it came out. Yeah, that's a lovely, lovely model, that. You've had it all this time and never done anything with it. That's cool. It's not that big a dragon, though, is it, really? So from that point of view, it's okay. Oh, Gary's got a laser cutter. We love your laser cutter, don't we, Gal? It's all good. He's even got to use it now, which is even better. So, all the toys. $2017, mate. That's no problem at all. You know, it's like. And how far have you got with this Thunderhawk, Matt? Jesus. 26x4? Well, yeah, I mean, they never had, you never finish. You're right. Okay. So, wait a minute. Scroll back up. Anfield Road layout in the loft. Actually, see there, yeah, you know, that's clues in the name, really, isn't it? You know, mentioning model railways. Well done, Tim. Anfield Road layout in the loft. Are you actually in Anfield Road? So are you kind of like actually around the corner? And if so, are you followers of the Reds? And if so, how do you think your season's going this year? Because it's not going quite as well as it was this time last year, is it? I mean, all right, they still did quite well, but high expectations and all that. But 26x4 railway layout, that is really big. So are you predominantly a railway modeler and you're just here for the modelling then? The Jenkins is in on the nerdy laser cut questions. Gary knows about him. He's good. He'll tell you. He'll help you. What the fuck's going on there? Why is that not going for it? Oh, that's because that I haven't trimmed that at all. There's a bit there's not trimmed. That's supposed to be like that. Oh, it's full fiddly diddly. Oh, look, wait a minute. Nice. Yeah, I mean, you can't expect everybody to be winning all the time, can you? Eh? Matt, is it your Thunderhawk then? Is it what's it made from? Is it resin or plastic or what? These days, because of course the original ones were all metal, weren't they? Numbered and all the rest of it. So it's like, right, okay. So look, there's that platform, and that's then going to do that like that. There you are. Woohoo! In fact, I could take that. Right, okay. These things are kind of cool. Now, what I've got in this case, can you see that knobbly cross bit in the bottom there? The knobbly cross bit in the bottom is pretty good usually because the knobbly cross bit is where you put other knobbly cross bits, and where you kind of fit it onto other bits of scenery. Or it's not going to fit in the cross bit, you twat. That's got a square. But the problem with that is the fact right now is that it's kind of like getting in the way of. Look at this, live digging through the cack. Very particular cack, mind you, because it's just other sprues from these kits cut up already, and that still isn't helping. Is that what I'm looking for? Well, that is what I'm looking for. Yeah, so I like these systems because they've got these kind of like crossy bits and various other things like this here. That's got a nice cross there, and that would fit on the top of that thing there. But actually, what I'm going to do in this case, now I've stuck this together, I'm going to pull this apart, cut this cross off, because then I'll have all of this flat base to stick on the top of this. So that's coming off. Take a pair of clippers to that. He says, not being able to get a pair of clippers to it. And then I'm going to stick a plate over the top of it to hold it together. Like that. Like that. Ping. Trim that right down. Trim this one as well. I'll reapply some polystyrene cement to the whole thing, just to help weld it back into place. I love polystyrene cement; it's great. It annoys me when some war games companies use the wrong kind of plastic and don't make figures you can stick together with poly cement. It's not right, because then that's stuck like that. That's nice, and that's going to do that, and that will sit really nice on there like that. Bang! That's really cool. I'm really happy with that, because then that's going to be alongside this one, which is lower down. So when the hab unit is sat on there like that, that platform will be lower down there like that. Then that wasn't a Stanley knife nearly falling in my leg, but it was. But then I'll be able to have walkways and bits and pieces like that, and that'll be really cool. And that's really great. Okay, so this is where now we're getting there. It's starting to kind of come together as a project. Good. Right. I need a flat plate to go on here, and that will hold that together. Cat box. There is one of the flat plates I'm talking about. Flattish plate. Hole, glue. Second generation resin model. Oh, okay. So, right, cool, yeah, all right. Nice. Right, cool. Right. Okay. Recommended diode laser. Gary, that's sounding way too technical. Okay, so now there's my little plate on the top there. That's going to hold the thing together, and that does that nicely. That's pretty flat as it goes. That's kind of cool. So this now is going to do that. I need a figure or two. Hang on. Now could be the moment for ubiquitous Orlock. If I knew where ubiquitous Orlock was. Kind of preparation you call this, Tim? Why haven't you got any Necromunda figures to hand? Also Star Wars figures. Well, I've got Star Wars figures. I fucking chuck them all over the place. There he is. For old school fans of this channel, ladies and gentlemen, I give you ubiquitous Orlock, who's looking a bit bashed up now. His bolt gun has lost the muzzle. There it is. And he needs a new handle on his knife, but he's just knocked around and got bashed around a bit. But that's kind of cool because that works there, down there. And this could then have ladders down there to the sump. It could have a little kind of floating jetty if it's on the water, that kind of thing. Walkways in between. I need more walkways, but I could do with more walkways and bits and pieces for these kits. But if I go over here on my other PC, the one that didn't want to play games this evening, and go to Games Workshop's website for a starter, and go to where are we? To more, and go to other games, and then go to Necromunda, and then go to terrain. That'll span platforms and walkways. 50 quid. 50 quid for some fucking metal walkways. That's a lot of money for some just kind of like. Ouch. I've got a few bits. Walkways. Well, I've got 2 bits. Fucking hell. That is a lot of money. I mean, considering the hab unit itself, the regular hab unit only costs that. The Thatos pattern fortified hab module looks pretty neat. It's got a lot of watchtower and gun things and stuff, which is kind of cool. But yeah, they're not even showing
the regular Hab unit on their website in a minute. Whereas if you go to Wayland Games, how much the Wayland Games sell it for? Other friendly local game stores are available, by the way. Other ones I visit regularly are also Element Games and Goblin Gaming, Games Workshop, Necromunda. Here we go. And then go to, I don't know, faction unit, product type. Building, let's have a butcher's of that. Okay, so yeah, so so the Hab module is 50 quid, right? Wow. And the platforms and walkways out of stock, £40. Right, 40, because you get 10 off. So go to an FLGS and you could save effectively. Wayland are discounting at 20% on their Necromunda stuff at the moment. Certainly the scenery side of things. Element Games. Element. Oh, get off. Element Massage. And when you buy, see, these things are not cheap, are they, really? I mean, it's like, right. Yeah, elements seem to be 20% off as well. I mean, I do love the 40k scene, the Necromunda scenery. It's very, very cool. It's one of the best things about the 2017 Necromunda. No hobby's a cheap hobby. My hobby is the most expensive hobby. What? Railways? Railways are expensive. Going to football is expensive. Yachting, horses, expensive. Wargaming, yeah, kind of pricey. I'm a reenactor as well. Yeah, it's, you know, every time I buy a sword, that's 400 or 500 quid. Every time I buy a gun, it's 400 or 500 quid. So actually, this hobby, having spent 100 quid or so on Arcworld, or even 200 quid or so on Arcworld, it's not expensive at all, really. Keeps me out of trouble. Keeps me off the streets. It's my wife going, keeps you off the streets. What would you be doing on the streets anyway, you fucking loser? But right, okay, so that's that one cut out. So now I've done, right, while I've still got my hot wand, put that to one side, put that building to one side. Right, cool, okay. What do I need to do now? What's next? Let's have a think about. Yeah, well, being in the marine industry, you're not wrong. And sailing, when I grew up as a kid as a sailor, and yachting is one of the most expensive pastimes you can have. So yeah, from that point of view, and doing other things on water or in water, super expensive as well. So wargaming can be quite, you know. I strongly believe that everybody should have a passion, should do something and I don't care if it's not what I do. In fact, I don't want anybody to do what I do, because then there'll be too many people doing what I do. Right, we need some of this stuff. How the fuck am I going to do this? Because what I really need... Oh, it's getting heavy now. Yep, yeah, not wrong, Zane. Right. Okay, so looking at the bottom of the box. Whoops. While my heat rod's still going.
This bit here is the sticky up bit. I wonder if I could cut it at an angle. That was a suggestion. Let's just put one together, stick it in the bottom, and then see if I can cut it at an angle. Might work. What I don't want is any structure going down onto the floor, into the water. I want it all coming out of the side of the rock. I mean, I suppose I could use bits of sprue, as Gary suggested, for bits of kind of improvised stanchion, but so here's that's the bit that goes underneath the habby in it. Let's move that out of the way. And that too. Take the lid off. Actually, that's what I need to do. That box over here. Stand that up. Put that there like that. And there you go. Okay, so look, lifted that up so we can get a camera under it. It's going to have to go here. Then this bit goes in there. Ooh, can you see that? How clear is that? See, you can't see that at all, can you? Right, let's stick that on. Oh, shit house. It fell apart. Then I could. Right. Okay. Might have a solution. Probably not, but I might have. First thing we need to do is stick together this bit. In fact, we're going to need two of those. Because I mean, it's a fantasy game, right? It's whimsy. I haven't said that in a little while. So we can get another drink in. Stick that on like that. And then if this is stuck here, this sticks underneath. What I have got, what it does have, is the metal bits. Would that go straight into that? There's some barking going on outside. I can't tell if it's a fox or one of the neighbour's kids. Right, there's this bit, all right, which might go into that bit, kind of thing. Or I could do if it had a thing that received it stuck in the thing with the thing. Hang on. Oh, okay, right, yeah, good. Right. So what I'm doing is we're gonna have what's it look like underneath? Bit shit. I reckon I've got spare ones of those. One, oh no, it does sound like a fox. It's not one of the kids, one of the neighbours' kids. It's all right. Relax, everybody. Don't need to call social services this afternoon. So, right, stick that together like that. That then will do that. He says, "Oh, fuck off! It's not that at all, is it?" Oh, you. Oh, right, okay. Not for kids. Swearing now. Swearing, good. Now we need one of those and a square. Good, right, okay. Fuck. I don't need that at all then. Do I need that at all? That goes in there. Can that just go in there? That can go in there. Right, we can do that like that. Right. Right, okay, here's my thinking. Right, and then this, right, we're going to cut off this bit here so it's like sticking out into the rock. We'll dig into All right, that's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do. So that goes in there like that, right? And then this goes in here like this. Like that. Yep. And then what's going to happen is I'll have that. Then we'll cut off this bit here, stick it into the rock face, and we'll do the same on the other side as well. And then either keep this bit because that juts out under the other side, and it can have, because it has like wire strops going up. That will look kind of cool. We'll have wire. Look, it's got whoops. Wire stroppy strops here, or these wire stroppy strop bits here, and that will go up to the underside of the thing, and that will kind of like hold it up. That might actually, good God, that might actually work. And then if I'm not happy with the underside of it, because the underside of it is not made to be seen, I've got 2 spares, which means I could stick that to that like that, and then I've got a bit underneath it, and then that will look like a really substantial thing sticking out there, wouldn't it? Yeah. What do you think of that? Would that work? That could be kind of cool. And then this bit here will have cables going up there, and that'll be lovely. Let's do that. Yeah, I reckon that's a proper solution. Right, okay, so let's just trim off the bottom there because it's a bit spruey still. Trim off the bottom there. Like that. Look at this. Around that side there. Trim that away there like that. This is the bit. Look, we're what, an hour and 36 minutes into the stream, and this is the bit that is the kind of like the creative bit. So far, all I've done is mess around with somebody else's kit. Now we're having to do the problem solving. This is the bit that I like because this is the bit where it all of a sudden takes on its. You get the timidness out of it, the Magrathea builder world's nature out of it. So glue around there. All of that. Glue. And then we're going to have to talk quietly amongst ourselves. And oh, bugger, I've broken that bit. Stick, yep. That to that. That there like that. Look at that bastard. Girders. And then we're going to cut off one end because that's going to stick in there, and that's going to look really fucking cool. So right, well, one of those, I need to make another one of those. Go find the bits. Down here on the floor. Right. Do you know what? Now I'm not cutting up any more polystyrene. I could unplug my heat wand for the time being, and bonus, I could shut the door, couldn't I? Because it's getting freaking cold in here now. Yeah, you're right. Actually, Rob, I think it is kind of Star Wars looking, isn't it? It's kind of Cloud City Bespin kind of look. I quite like that. Nice stanchion. You can almost imagine Luke Skywalker hanging on the bottom of that with only one hand going, Leia, hear me, kind of thing, you know. So yeah. And as I'm actually at this point in my life, more likely to play a Star Wars kind of game with it, not actually any published Star Wars game. I'm very tempted at the minute. There are 3 possibilities I'm feeling with. I'm going to shut the door. It's getting fucking cold. It's almost like it's winter out there. Yeah, I've got 3 possibilities for Star Wars skirmishes because I only really want to play skirmishes. I'm not interested in, as mentioned higher up the thread tonight, any game with more than 10 figures can do one. I want smugglers and scum and villainy, and I want stormtroopers to be scary. And I want, I'm not particularly bothered about space wizards. What I'm going to do, well, my choices are play Middle Earth strategy battle game in space, because frankly, it's a blinding skirmish system. It's really good. Or
I had toyed with the idea of using Burrows and Badgers and turning it into a sci-fi game. Any B&B players out there think that's bonkers? Or do you reckon it would work? Could you imagine playing B&B in a sci-fi setting? Obviously, not with Badgers, but with kind of like Twi'leks and Wookiees. But, assume that a Wookiee is a Badger and you're halfway there, aren't you, really? Or I've got a Wild West system that I wrote myself called Blaze of Glory, which is still one of my favourite games to play. Badgers with bazookas. I think Badgers with bazookas would be a fucking terrifying prospect. But yeah, I think you're completely right. Badgers with bazookas would go really quite well, wouldn't it? Badgers aren't Wookiees. What do you mean Badgers aren't Wookiees? Michael will what? Matt, explain to me how a Badger isn't a Wookiee. Relatively speaking, they're proper hard. But okay, I need that one there, like that. You already believe they are. That's fine. Are you with me then? Right, cool. Rocket Raccoon. Exactly. So it's like. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Right. Sorry, Matt. My bad. I'm now understanding the subtleties of your typing. Badgers aren't Wookiees, as in you were asking me a question. Do I mean that? Yeah. Right. You're already there. Gotcha. Right. There you go. Sorry. Slow on the uptake today. Yeah. Totally. I mean, this is it. I could sit there and go, right, I'll have the stats of Badgers. They're Wookiees. So B&B players then, which species do you think represents bog standard humans? Squirrels with lightsabers. No, lightsabers. Yeah, see, my problem is that although I have lightsabers on my bedroom wall and I like lightsabers as things, I've never really been into the space wizard side of Star Wars. I think that's why I like Rogue One and Andor so much, because there's not a space wizard in sight. But yeah, I think if I took the Badger for Wookiee stats and then you use a mouse for Jawa stats, what would be a human? Do you reckon rabbit or I don't know. Yeah, see, here's greetings from Belgium. Good evening, miniatures, conversions, and dioramas by Frankie. I'm going with Frankie there. Good evening, Frankie. Nice of you to join us. I'm glad you found us. I'm into, just to get you up to speed, I'm working on a Necromunda build / Star Wars build. This is why we're having a bizarre conversation about Burrows and Badgers and Star Wars at the same time. Because shrews for Ewoks. Yeah, that works. Yeah, they're kind of like nasty. Oh, what about for Ewoks? What about weasels and ferret? Because they're like kind of fearless, aren't they? Really, I always think that tenacious little buggers. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. Are you which builds do you like the most? Are you into the fantasy stuff, Frankie, or are you into the kind of like the sci-fi stuff? I don't do much sci-fi stuff at the moment. That's why I'm doing this tonight, actually. Kind of, so look, this is right, cool. Okay, that gets stuck in there. Okay, this is if I manage to achieve nothing else tonight, an hour and 43 minutes. There we go. Now 2 of these now. Wow, look, I can even turn these into spaces. It's like a Klingon bird of prey. Pew, 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 pew. Sorry. That one fell apart like a Klingon bird of prey. Right, do that like that, and then leave it the fuck alone for a moment, Tim, so it can stick, for God's sake. Right, so... Right, cool. Yeah, it's coming along. This is better. See, the thing is, Anfield, I could call you Anfield, can't I, really? Because the rest of your name's a bit of a kind of, a bit of a mouthful. Is that this is the best bit of what I like doing. Oh, cool. So you're to absolutely everything. Oh, nice one, Frankie. I'm glad you're here then. Yeah, this is a bit. This is the cool bit now, because this is the bit where I'm able to actually kind of flex the
the kind of creativity and the intellectual bit and the thought processes. So that's going to do that, right? And then this is going to plug on there. He says, hopefully. Oh, you're having a fucking laugh. Houston, we have a problem. And look, it's doing nice going at a fucking angle. Melon Farmer, that's no bleeding good, is it? Look, because that would do that like that, and that does that like that. Shit. Why didn't that work properly? Right, fine. Screw you. I'm going to have that bit out there. That's because I put that in there like that. Motherfucker. Ugh. Can I just stick that in there? I can't stick that in there without cutting a bit right. Okay. Right, my problem now is the fact that if I use all the really cool little natty bits that kind of lock it all together, then I'm on the piss and at a bit of a weird angle. And what I wanted to do is that, which is no bleeding good at all. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going in, I'm taking out this bit. I'm going to cut out these knobbly bits in the inside so I can stick this bit in any pigging way I like. Right, that's what we're going to do. These things are sent to tries. I need a new pair of clippers. Oh, every single pair of my clippers, the end, at least one of the jaws, the end's bust off, which is really bloody inconvenient. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all those out as best I can. A little bit of plastic carving going on here. And then stick that in there like that. In fact, I'm going to stick that on there like that. And then I'm going to stick that on there like that. I'll find another pair of clippers. Hang on. Better. Oh, there's shacked as well. Bollocks. Every pair of clippers I've got is knackered. Right. Have a toolbox. What? Oh, why isn't there one in there? No. Right, here we go. This is a bit messy now, but it won't matter because it's all stuck inside with it. The cool thing about polycementicals when you're working with the right plastic is that all you have to do is stick it in and it's just going to weld all this together. So it's going to be fine. There we are. Because I'm going to stick that on there. I haven't stuck that to the base, but it helped me get this in the right position like that. That's going to do that now then. Yes, good. Right, okay, that works. That works. Right, and then same on this model, which is less shagged. This one's less shagged. Okay, so hobby-wise, here's another question for you. While I'm kind of like not standing nicely in my fingers, I am. Although I have several videos that I have in mind, I will be working on. There will be video content between now and Christmas, but there probably won't be time for a live stream because I'm going to be doing it odd hours. And like I said, between now and Christmas, and it's only the goddamn 16th of November today. Between now and Christmas, every weekend now, from next weekend onwards in my life, is going to be representing the big man, the jolly big man with the red suit and all the rest of it. Here we go. Stick that on there. Yep. So I'm going to make some more video content, but what the fuck is that? Oh, no, it's right. Cool. Because, like I said, I've got, apart from anything else, this middle-low strategy battle game system to do, and a 2 foot by 2 foot by 4 foot. Cool. Okay, nice. What you're making that on, Rob? What you need is a Kallax unit, mate. That's what I suggest. So yeah, there will be more video content coming out this winter between now and Christmas time, but I won't be doing another live stream until after Christmas. So I am planning on doing a live stream in the week after Christmas. But question for you then, and that is, what are you hoping that Father Christmas is going to bring you from a gaming point of view for Christmas this year? And do you have somebody else to organise that for you, or do you have to organise your own Father Christmas presents and then give them to somebody to give them back to you? What do you reckon? What are you hoping for Christmas? I mean, I don't actually know. Although I do know that people know me who are watching and might be involved in my Christmas one way or another. Are you still online, Gary /Lorraine/Heidi? Because I haven't bought. I'm not buying any more Arcworld stuff in the next little while. So you can always find out what I've got and then buy me other things for Arcworld. Lots. Well, yeah, that's it. Nice. Give Father Christmas a nice idea. Yeah, that's fair. I am. Well, see, the thing is with the thing about the big guy with presents is the fact that he's out there, and we have people rep for him, and there are lots of people who think it's me. I get it all the time, all around here. In fact, that's why I wear my beard in a plait a lot of the time these days to avoid being told of Father Christmas. But one of them out there could be the real deal, and then your kids need to know. All right, Gary, here's a list of what I've got. A new hobby apron. Yeah, do you like, those of you who are late arrivals, and Lorraine was first on tonight, do you like my Black Pearl t-shirt? Check this out. I got this at LFCC yesterday. Replaced a couple of Lord of the Rings ones as well. It was the only Pirates of the Caribbean. It was the only colour this Pirates of the Caribbean shirt came in, which is like, brave. I'm modelling in a white shirt, but then actually I'm not painting anything, so we're good at the minute. Bless. I could just see you in a little apron, Matt. It'd be nice. Yeah. Yeah, some of my new t-shirts will be featuring in some of my upcoming videos because they are pertinent to the videos being made. I got myself a new Prancing Pony in t-shirt yesterday. I got this as well. This is cool. Got this metal plate, Prancing Pony. Right, look at that. Right, okay. So look. Gary /Harry, if you're watching, Rob wants one of our building kits. We're going to have to write the instructions. God damn. Plus the old Rogue Trader G Steeler Patriarch on the throne. Yeah, nice. Miss Crockett, I'm putting an order in this week. Rob, are you concentrating? If you are, you have to send me a message to tell me what design is required, because I'm ordering for Gary Guy, who's not here now, and Nick, if you're still watching, I'm ordering yours. But it's like it's coming. We've got there are several shirts there. Those of you who haven't seen my t-shirts, shit. No, even Nick's waiting for these modeling kits. Right, look, okay, I'm going to find time this week then to actually work on the instructions, because the other thing is we want to make an instruction video too. But if nothing else, I've got to sit down and work out what it was. Yeah, I know you are, Nick, and I'm ordering them tomorrow. This, for those of you who arrived late but watched the last stream, this is the result. I haven't finished painting it of the model I was building in the last stream. But it's which is cool. Late here due to being regular RPG. That's fine. That's cool. Even Dr. Vesuvius, nice for you to drop in. So yeah, this was the this is the one I built live. And I've got to sit down. When I was doing it, the one thing that struck me was there were a number of things that everything in the kit in the box is correct and builds this building, but only if you do it in the order that I hadn't worked out how to do it in. So when I started doing this, I actually, if you cast your mind back, I got all sidetracked and cut up cardboard to make the base inside. And then I didn't leave myself enough cardboard to make the two roof bits. There is enough cardboard in the model to do both things, but this uses offcuts, and this I messed up. So that's the one. I've got to finish getting that painted because that will then go on our Facebook page. And then, yeah, for those of you who didn't see it earlier, this is the next one I'm working on. This is the forge, which is very similar to the house. It's got some of the same components, but there are extra bits in it. Housey bit on the back and then forge on the front. So this one has a 25mm block of XPS in there to make the chimney. And it also has square section balsa wood for all the uprights and bits and pieces. So this is a really lovely little model. I'm really pleased with this. Gary has also designed, because I've seen her design. There'll be a resin anvil to go outside here as well. Yeah, I think it's a really nice little model. So from that point of view, that will probably be following up real soon after the house. It goes together quite well. Nice little bit of gear. So I'm really hoping that actually these are going to be a nice little bunch of very popular little kits. So I am definitely going to make time this week to write the instructions. Yeah. Ooh, Necromunda transit system. Yeah, I mean, a bit wide. But yeah, you're right. You could easily have. Yeah. I mean, that's actually for proper kind of sci-fi kind of stuff, all you need. The idea, Nick, is that the anvil is going to come in the box. So you've got one, so you can make everything that's there. As to getting an STL for it, we'd have to negotiate that with the designer. We haven't even had that conversation. The desire for the anvil is very much to supply a printed anvil, so you can make your forge straight away. And then, because otherwise, I mean, the whole point of this is the fact that you've got everything in the box that you need to make the kit, and then you don't have to fuck around with printing and various other bits and pieces. So the design for that is very nice. I haven't seen a printed one yet, but that's because, like I said earlier in this video, in this stream, we haven't got any further with the build. They got as far as getting these things out yet because of Harry's back operation. But we hope that that's my bullshit excuse for me not having written the instructions. I'm going to do that this week, though, I promise. So, so they will be available very soon. Watch the Facebook page. I might even, as soon as we get it done, we'll bung up a little notification advert thing on my regular YouTube channel as well. And then we need to make a video instruction, set us in video instructions how to make it too. Right. So look, there's and as for a travel system for Necromunda, actually with these things, these are really cool. You could have Yakult bottles on the bottom as boosters. You could actually use this as a thing, but it could also be right. So look, where are we? Here we go. Back here. There's me Rocky stanchion bit. You fucker. So that's going to sit here. This then I'm going to cut off. What's going on there? Got to cut off a large chunk of this. Can't cut off too much. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it off initially about here. Because my plan Yeah, ha ha ha. Actually, saw. Saw. Right. I'm going to cut short. Don't want to cut off too much. Because and we're in. And we're going to go out the other side. Because I'm going to turn the heat one back on in a minute. And we'll cut a hole into the rock. So the girder is coming out of the rock. Yes, indeed. End cut off. Let's do the same with the other one. 1, 2. These are not symmetrical. That's interesting. Okay, there. Like that. Ah, cool. Ah, nice. Nick, I do use instructions a lot of the time. Just don't for this model because I made it so much. It's also writing instructions actually is a tricky kind of thing, but I am an English teacher. So from that point of view, I have taught people how to write instructions. And the hardest thing about writing instructions is actually working out the best order to do things in the first place. Now, look, this is where I need to be using. This is why I'm annoyed that I haven't got my OBS used or whatever else. I'm even getting towards the point where I think I need a Discord. Because when somebody like Frankie says he's working on a Captain Nemo for the Wild West Exodus kind of stuff, this will be a really cool place for people to be able to share things. Actually, work in progresses and various other bits and pieces. Is this what Discord is all about? I mean, I'm kind of like fucking stuck in the 20th century almost. Well, I'm not live streaming now. Hey, look at me. How cool am I? But, would this actually be better if this was on Discord? Do I have to go and investigate Discord? Are you any of you guys on any other Discords? Is this the kind of thing when I'm sitting there going, right, cool, yeah, okay. So if I was on Discord, Anfield, is this where I can actually say to people, cool, show me what you're doing as well as what I'm doing? It becomes more of a two-way kind of chat as opposed to me just blathering and talking away and responding to you guys. Is that the purpose of it? Because, nice. Right, okay. So rather than fucking around with a live stream more than anything else, I could just look at Discord instead, and then we could have a Discord, and then that would be a kind of thing. What does everybody else reckon? What? Don't forget to align the hex in the supporters so you get... Yeah, I've done that, Gal. Look. Like that, you mean? That's going to do that like that. Then, although I haven't stuck it on yet, I turn up like that, and then that's going to do that like that. And, yeah, see, this is the thing. See, at the minute, you could see... I don't think you can see. Can I get some more fucking light? More light. I don't know if that's going to help. More light. See, at the moment, if I turn it this way around, that might be better. Right. At the moment, I'm doing this. Turn that round.
And yeah, so that looks going to look like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut holes in the XPS, line that up as best I can, because that's about 10 mils sticking out. So that really, really works. That's going to look cool, but more of it will be stuck into the thing. So with a bit of fiddling now, sorry, you're not going to be able to see this bit because I need to be able to see what the smeg I'm doing. Fuck. I need pen, pencil, scalpel blade be really good right now. I'm using a pen to poke into the XPS foam to give a bit of idea where the holes are going to be. I'll do it on the other side and all. Right, okay. So nice. Yeah, see the thing with Facebook, yeah, I mean it's right, okay, here we go. Hang on. Just get me power cable back for me broken thing. I mean the thing is in the end is that I'm enjoying this going live thing. It's kind of good fun. And it's the kind of thing that I'd quite happily do, you know, more regularly. Definitely I'm going to try and do once a month. But actually if it's Discord is the way, then let's do that. You know, it's like so going like I've made some dotty holes. Actually, what I could do while I'm waiting for that to heat up, now they've fallen off the bottom of the model, draw around it, give me a much better idea where it's going to go, and that one over here, yeah, also around there. That's fucking pathetic, Eaglin. What are you doing, man? Right. Okay, so move that out of the way for a minute. Take hot wand. Do both at the same time. Holy shit balls. Now you really... Do I look like the technologically advanced human being that could do Discord and be on thinking? Can you do that at the same time? Can I like stream from Discord straight to YouTube at the same time? Would it work all in the same place? Okay, I don't know. Here we go. Okay, so going in with me hot wand like that. The hole there, this one here. I'm just going to use the hot wand to melt out all the bit in the middle, and I'm going to go in probably farther than I need to, because the model will hold it in place anyway up top. Stab the dead polystyrene inside. Because look. That does that, right? And then it's ridiculous how happy I've just made myself just by melting some polystyrene. I go around here like this. Melting all that out. And that's good. Like that. Then must be pig in unit. That like that. And then that's fucking way too short. We could see daylight through that bitch. Cock. Right. There must be a way to remedy this. I was going really well. Well, it does. For Dr. Vesuvius, it does, up to the point that I've fucking put the holes in too low down, and now they're in the wrong place. God damn it. Hang on. How about now? We can mend it. We can fix it. We can. Fucking holes are in the wrong fucking place, aren't they? Right, okay. In fact, how far? How in the wrong place are they? They are. Wow, they're about 10 mils out. Shit, boy. Oh no, hang on. Yep. Okay, so right, here's what's going to happen. We're going up. We're going up in the rock face. God damn. How did I get that so wrong? And then we're going to backfill underneath it with plaster or some shit because I got it in the wrong place. Pack it. What's it got? Pack it with something. No, it's all right. No, I'm going up. There are various bits and pieces you can do, but actually, the easiest way to do it is because that's going to go in there. Oh, hang on. Come on. Lovely. Let's go. Shit, that fuck out. Fuck. Black Bernie bit. Well, there are going to be a few. I should think a few people actually. We can do quite well with the number of people actually online right now. It's going to be about the most we've had all evening, and at least rock faces aren't usually uniform. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to pack it with a bunch of plaster, and then right. Okay, so stick that on there like that. That hasn't fully gone off underneath yet, and put that on there like that. I could really do with sticking that actually on. But then plug in that in there. Get in. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to hold this in place. Hang on. Unplug that. But how's that look? That look all right? That can do that like that. That's going to do that like that. They're obviously going to fall off right now because they're still not, interestingly, still might. Oh, it's because they're slipping down the hole now. But yeah, they're going to go in there. They're going to fit on there. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to glue these onto the bottom of the solid model. That's what we're going to do. Because then at least they won't be falling off that. Make sure you stick them on the right way around, Timmy. Otherwise, you're going to look silly in a minute. Okay. Now, my plan is to make up the smaller hab units just sitting flat on top of Minecraft blocks. Yeah, you like that. Or like this one. They will, of course, need to be stuck on with a probably Gorilla Wood Glue, PVA, because you can't use much else. Could probably use hot glue gun glue, but that, of course, will melt the XPS. But, right, okay, so that's going to stick there. Going to leave that for a few minutes to go off, then we can try that out. See, I've even got these bits that cut off, and these can actually go in the back in the cat box, which is good. And now we're kind of winning from that point of view. So, look, we're doing really well. 2 hours, 13 minutes into this stream, and I have actually made some kind of progress. I'm quite pleased. So, what should I do next? Yeah, see, hot glue will do it. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Hot glue into the thing will hold it all in place. And we'll certainly in the first, and hot glue will probably, I can backfill the holes as well with hot glue. And then, because then I'm going to cover it over anyway. Yeah, now I've stuck that on. Actually, that's a bit of a pain in the ass because I could really have done with texturing the whole thing. Oh, well, it looks like I'm now going to have the whole thing stuck on, and then I'm going to be texturing it with sand. Well, but that will also help. I'll get a glue gun out. Should we get a glue gun out? hey, let's use all the toys tonight. So, right, okay. That's out of the way. That's kind of going off there. That's doing fine. Find a hot glue gun. Going over here. Fiddle it. Unplug. Mr. Hot wand, and then interestingly, the other thing, of course, we also looked at this year before we got sidetracked by Arkworld was Guards of Traitor's Toll, Chigley and Cowan Green. What is this, a bloody test of how much kids' TV I watched back in the 1970s? For fuck's sake, Pew Pew, Barnum McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Gruff. Is that good enough for you, Nick? Is it? Is it? Right, cool. Okay, so easy. There you go. I said that. I beat you to it. Well done, Bricktop. Nice job. Yeah, so where are we? What was I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking. Fuck it. Yeah, Guards of Traitor's Toll. Anyway, so when we went to Colours in September, me and Gary and Harry might have bought Guards of Traitor's Toll. Then we went to Partisan and we took Ted with us as well and bought Arkworld. I still fancy Guards of Traitor's Toll. So I started on some Guards of Traitor's Toll figures. There's a guard. But what was interesting is I came across a box this afternoon of old school stuff I used to have out for Warhammer Quest with a load of original Citadel citizens in, and without even having to fanny around. Look, there's a barmaid. So I'm going to rebase all my old school workshop citizens, and they'll be good for Guards of Traitor's Toll. Take me even closer to that. Got a whole bunch of tabletop world terrain that I'm going to be using for Guards of Traitor's Toll, because you don't have to go inside the buildings, although all those buildings have got brilliant kind of interiors. And oh my God, while we're on Tabletop World, have you seen, because you got to love Tabletop World. If you're not aware of Tabletop World, they are the world's premier resin made fantasy scenery company by a country goddamn mile. You can get all the printable 3D STL, 3D printing STLs and all the rest of it you like, but Tabletop World are old school Tabletop World stuff. I bought a bunch of stuff a little while ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's been sat in a box, and I had to do something with it, and I've now got a load of it painted, and it's going to feature in my first Middle-earth strategy battle game video, which is coming out next week. But it's also going to get used for Guards of Traitor's Toll, which is really cool. And while we're on Tabletop World, like I said, have you seen the Kickstarter for the brewery they've just launched? Because it looks absolutely amazing. The new Tabletop World stuff is a bigger scale, isn't really compatible with the older Tabletop World stuff. Yeah, it looks, the new model is just extraordinary. I can't think of another way of describing it, really. It just looks absolutely brilliant. Right, I've stuck them on there, and I might end up pulling them off. Bugger it. Or I could just go for sticking the whole thing on right now. Let's do that. Let's stick the whole thing on right now. Because apart from anything else, I'll get to the point where I will actually have achieved something this evening. So from that point of view, here we go. Mr. Hot Glue Gun, are you going to work for me today? Let's go. Are we hot enough yet? No, we're going to give him a minute or two. There is glue coming out, but we're going to give it a minute or two more. So, yeah. Yeah, see, the thing, Rob, that we liked about Guards of Traitor's Toll, and the reason why I'm still going to stick with it, actually, to be quite honest, and play some of that and other games, is I really like the collaborative feel of Guards of Traitor's Toll. Because it's rather strikes me as being guards from it's very much like the Ankh-Morpork City Watch, the tabletop game in some ways. And I like the look of the collaborative side of things, where you're kind of like playing against each other, but you're also playing against the game. I really like that. And it's a really interesting take on a skirmishy game that I've never seen before. Must be super difficult to write game systems now where they're different. They're original. They're kind of like it's really kind of tricky. So whenever I see a game system that's got a new kind of take on things or a new kind of spin, it's like in Ark World, the orcs in Ark World are just extraordinary. One of it. So I mean, all the factions I really love, but the orcs are like kind of like bayou living rednecks, alligator hunters, so yeah, the orcs are. And it's just so cool. Here we are. There's some of the orcs. This is kind of like they're wearing, in my case, blue dungarees and kind of. They all talk like the guys off Swamp Hunters, Swamp fucking people off the Discovery Channel. They're just so neat. Totally. This book, by the way, if you start looking at Ark World, you've got to get this book. It's just gorgeous. It's just background and art, and yeah, it's amazing. But coming up with a new idea for a race or anything else looks kind of like, yeah, it's pretty tricky. So whenever somebody comes up with something new, and I think Graham Davey has really come up with something new for Guards of Traitors Toll, which I really like the look of. So I'm definitely going to want to play that. I'm going to put a couple of Guards units together. It also looks like the kind of thing you can play nicely of an evening. You don't need a massive setup, and that also looks like good as well. Yeah, nice. Okay, how are we doing, little hot glue gun? Are we there yet? Looking good. Okay, here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill, first of all. Oh, fuck's sake, glue sticks falling out. Go in there with that. Lost my glue stick out the top. There we go. Right, there we go. And glue in there. Open the trigger and push it through works better. And then glue around that. Like that. And then up and down there like that. And the other thing is, if I mess this up, I should just be able to pull it off. Here we go. Effort number one. Try it. Try as you can. Go. Gluing in. Get on. Go on. Might have put too much glue in the bit at the bottom. No, we're good. Okay, so that was in the wrong place, but I'm going to peel that off. So that's fine. Take that out for a minute. And now we're going to several people suggested hot glue. I don't think a hot glue enough, to be quite honest. Nice one. That's working really well. Stringy bits, but that's fine because that's all going to go solid. I got hot glue in the wrong place there too, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to peel that off too while we're sitting here. Yeah, Rob, it is actually. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And the hot glue was a really good idea. Well, the only thing I've fucked up with is the fact that I should have put it on the polystyrene as opposed to the back bit of this model here, because I was a bit off with which bits are actually going to glue to the terrain. But even so,
I could actually peel that off while it's still warm. I will actually put some more glue in other places. It's the cunning thing is the glue will then just look like bits of rock face. Yeah, he's a nice chap. He's gonna, the train tutor. He has some really good ideas. He's old school, like what I am. A really nice chat with him at the other partisan a few weeks ago. That's the first time we met. He was rather taken with our little model kit as well, actually. So look out for that. We're going to get one hopefully made on his channel. All right. So look, it's we're 2 hours 25 minutes into this stream this evening, which is good. And once I've already worked out really what I'm doing with all of this, I might even get to the point where I get entire projects finished in an evening, which is highly unlikely. But actually, I have. Oh, you fucker. Mostly done right there. Glue escape! That could probably be arranged, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to blow some cool air on some hot glue now. What's your channel? Anfield? Is it Anfield Road? Okay, look, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. I've nearly got something I can show you. Nearly. But we're kind of, yeah. All right. Okay, that's kind of all right. With some details and bits and pieces. Well, let me do that. Of course you let me do that. Why can't I do that? Hang on. All right, that is weird. I've just started watching me on that computer over there. And that's even weirder because I watch this in real time and then that is delayed by a few seconds. However, I have just clicked on Anfield Road layout in the loft. Nice. I'll check that out. Right. Okay. So look, I think I'm nearly there with this. To the point where actually I've got something I can report and go, look at me. I've done a thing this evening. I've stuck a way more. I stuck a way more glue under here than I needed to. Fuck. We're just going to need cleaning off one way or another. Because it's going to look a bit weird otherwise when I paint it. I just painted weird colours and it could just look like green goo escaping from the bottom of the hab unit. However, nice. I need a bit more forethought as to how much of that was actually going to come out. How much was going to stick to the rock face. But
get the display box out. What do I do with that? Over there. So, this evening, so far, we have... Look, this is bastard out. There we are. Look at that. What do we think? I'm kind of quite happy with that. It's a bit messy now where I've got glue all over the place. But what I have got is I've got my house on the rocky thing. These girders now coming out of the rock, which is kind of cool. I'm going to have some wires suspending them one way or another, which is quite neat. Pretty sure I could have stuck something between the two. Yeah, what's that? I think this feature here can actually be a girder that fits, I think, because I haven't looked at the instructions, in here, which is kind of neat. So let's have a look at that. And a bit like anything else, oh shit, probably needs two of them. I suppose I've got another one of them kicking around there. Nope, I haven't, but cheers, girl. Yeah, I mean, that's going to go drop that in there. Go in there. I should have stuck that in before then, shouldn't I? Oh no, look at that. That's kind of cool. Look. That just clicks in. And now I've got a bit here. That's kind of neat. I like that. The other thing I could possibly do is I could make a thing where there's a platform actually. So this is sitting on a platform that rests on the water. That could work as well. But even so, it's quite neat. It's just sitting up in the air. It's quite a Star Wars, isn't it? It's only a little bit on the piss. But not bad at all. So I'm going to take that off, put the lid on. Is everybody watching yours, Gary? Have they all fallen asleep now? Stick that on there like that. There we go. Now I've got to do is all the other details. I've got to work out where the doors are going to go. I can have at least one hanging kind of like platform. Yeah, nice. Okay. Right, so unplug the hot glue gun. Turn off this screen over here because it's starting to get on my tits. Glue gun out of the way. Nicely. Whoops. Yes. So who's going on there? Yeah, needs something. I want it to be kind of habby, kind of, yeah, you know, I don't want it to be too military, but it definitely needs something on top. There are various things you could put on top. I mean, it could have a platform. I could easily put a platform up there. Using another one of these, I mean, that could almost be a landing pad then. Although not this one because I cut that off. And that's, oh shit! I should have hot glued. Well, I had the hot glue gun on. I should have hot glued that to that. Do that later. There are various features. There's a kind of fuel pod type thing that can go on there. Like I said, I've only got 2 doors, which is really crap.
And then there are definitely wire strops that can go from place to place. Or are they round a square? Do you know what? Does it need weight on the rock side to stop it falling over? No, it's quite good actually. I think I've got the balance kind of right there. It's quite wide. Hang on. Let's get bottle of glue. No, look, I mean, yeah, but if I put that right over there, that's quite heavy, you know. But actually, if I made the jetty down here that I was talking about, that would get rid of that anyway, because that would then just sit on the surface. Radio error sensors could work. Yeah, this kit is really nice. They do come with a whole bunch of aerials and kind of, if I dig into the ordinary house kit, you got radar sensor things, and there's also you also get this canopy. That's a fucking point. Is that canopy on that? Where's the box? This one doesn't get a funky canopy on it. Boo hoo, boo, boo, boo. Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, got it. Yeah. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna have things on the top, because that's just, yeah, it needs a little platform and various other bits and pieces. In fact, I've got spare platforms. I might be able to make up something that sits in the top here and has got a little platform on it that's got, because it doesn't need to be anything grand, and a little lookout post of some kind. It's kind of cool. I'm actually going to look in here, because I could have something sit here like that, and it'd just be a step up to it, and then a couple of sensor arrays. Now we're getting the instructions out. Oh, oh, it's sticking underneath. Really? Oh, yeah, okay. Nice. So in the model, God damn, do you know what I do? One, that, and that. Okay. So that's a. Does that? Let's go see in there like that. Yeah. Yeah, a little platform on the top, that'd be cool. That would be good. Mini digging through the cat. That's no good. It's not all. The other cool thing about this stuff is there's so many extra bits. I've made kind of like little boilers and things before that get put in these houses, which is quite smart. I like that too. One of those, yeah. And there's all kinds of things you can make out of it, and that will look, again, it works very well for Necromunda, but it also works very well for Star Wars as well. That kind of lived-in kind of sci-fi. It's quite neat. So what's that written there then? Because that's got I've only got one of those. What's showing we got two? That's only got fucking. Oh. B11, E13. Yeah, I mean this one, the other house. I mean this is way cool. Look, because you get like chimneys with stacks on and all kinds of things. They're totally going on it. This is where now this is the fun bit because now I get to kind of now I've worked out the structure. Cool. Thanks for watching, Anfield. I mean, what is the time now? Good God, it's 22 minutes past 10. So, okay, we're nearly there. Nearly at the point where it's nearly been... I was late starting tonight, so apologies for that. But nearly at the 3-hour mark. So at that point, I really will have to jack it in and go to bed. Well, not go to bed, but... so, yeah. I'm still missing bits. That's... Right, okay, one off there. One like that. There. That's annoying. Still, sticking one on. Lost it. I lost the thing I was doing. Here we are. Okay, so. Okay, what we learned tonight. Tonight we've learned use all the toys. We've learned maybe I need to think about Discord rather than just streaming. It'll be nice if we can include more people in what we're doing. We've talked about Star Wars gaming a little bit and Guards of Traitors Toll and other things. What are the other things we thought about? We thought about Arc World. There's definitely Arc World stuff coming up. But actually, my next video is, well, it's not totally true. I'm totally doing, yeah, like I said, this Middle-earth strategy battle game vid. I'll be doing that on Tuesday. Just because I want to get playing something. And yeah, see if I'm going to do that like that. That'll be cool. There's just so much I want to do and just not enough time to do it. It's very, very frustrating, really. But them's the breaks. That's the world we live in, etc., etc. So, I mean, most of you guys, I should think, if you're watching, already subscribe to this channel anyway. If you don't, then make sure that you kind of like click like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not very good at promoting myself these days. It just kind of happens. But share around, tell your mates. This, of course, is going to be available. You can go back and watch it. Watch my embarrassing start when nobody was watching because I was kind of like in the wrong place doing the wrong thing. But yeah, coming on nicely. Doesn't need those bits. I could have done that. Right, going for detailing on the outside. Yeah, see that? That's cool. That'll do that. And that could click on there like that. I'll go that way around, inside there, and that's a. And then we'll go on the roof like that. And then stick under there. Like options. Oh, just pay me. That makes a thing like that, and that makes up to that. Yeah. You go a bit kit blind after a while, to be quite honest, looking at all this stuff. Oh, the other thing we could use. I wonder if you could use that bit off it. This is. I reckon that's too big. Hang on. Cut that out. Oh, this is actually off the base, but where we're talking about having a kind of like a watchtower thing on the top. Would that fit on there? Well, I'll do that. A bit weird there. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, right. I'm going to use that idea. So many possibilities. This one. So, yeah, cheers, Frankie. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it must be getting quite late over there, I suppose. If you're in Belgium, it's 11:30. So yeah, here we go. Sorry, it's been a bit quiet the last couple of minutes because I've been looking at components. So here we go. I will be, like I said, from a live. There will be some form of live stream in the week after Christmas. Not immediately after Christmas, mind you, because that will be fucking mental. Because I'll need some days to recover from being the big man. But just having a quick peep. December. Jumping into December. Well, you never know. I mean, we could go for it on the 28th of December, to be quite honest. You know, that's a Sunday night. I quite like this Sunday night kind of thing. We have got to get up on the 29th and go and do some ex-Christmas work. So from that point of view, what do you reckon? If I were to stream on Sunday, the 28th of December, are any of you people out there going to be around to watch? That's the question. Let's push that out. Yeah, it did. Because I could see me doing that. That will be an all right kind of thing. It's some guaranteed hobby then. Over holiday. Which would be right. Oh, now that's got a thing. One of those. No, well, that's just that. I better if that sits in there like that. Sorry, I'm now starting to ramble to myself. Oh, well, how many happy returns to the 28th of December, Rob? And, you know, if you've got nothing else to do, are you going to be, because, you know, I mean, I could quite happily provide you with the opportunity to get pissed on your birthday. Look at that. There are people who would watch on the 28th of December. Rob Locke might have an excuse for not watching because he'll be drunk. There you go. Look, so right, okay. So the popular consensus is then that actually something in some kind of way, even if it's Tim on his crappy Wi-Fi on his crappy laptop, we'll do some hobby on the 28th of December of an evening. I should have recovered hopefully by then. We'll post that. That'll be really cool. I'll make sure that this is, if I haven't done anything else with, well, I would have done something else with it by then. But if I haven't posted it anywhere else, you'll get to see the end result of this, which is quite neat. Because yeah, it's been cool. So thanks very much for hanging out with me this evening, you guys. It's been good fun. I'm happy, actually quite impressed that I've made some progress this evening. It worked. My plan worked. I've got to do all the fancy little details. It definitely needs some wires, cables, and bits and pieces going across there. But that's all right. I need to stick that in, actually, don't I? That's kind of cool. As a model goes, I'm quite pleased with this. I've got to do the tricky bit now. Now I've stuck the damn house on, which is actually the tricky bit is sanding the whole thing. But hey, that'll be all right. That's cool. And we're going to make sure that this is all. But I'm quite pleased with that. That's going to be all right. I've done that. I'll get some Star Warsy figures on it and see what it looks like. But so yeah, right now what I'm doing is I'm doing the roof. I've taken the roof off the other thing, and what we've got is. That's not going to end well. Neither is that. Right. So stuck under the underside, a couple of light kind of type things, and now I've got this one chimney type thing here, which I'm going to put this onto. if I can stick that on there, then there is a handrail type affair that will I'm supposed to go in here. Oops. No. Clip that off there. Yeah. One minute. Okay. See, that could, this goes on here, and that could be then a little kind of platform up the top like that. We can have a little ladder up there. What it really then needs is some kind of hatch or way of getting up. There's no way getting on the roof at the minute, which is a tad inconvenient. Yeah, cool. Okay. Lovely. Right. Right, okay. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Look, we've done what we've done now, 2 hours, 51 minutes. I'm going to be here for about another 10 minutes. If you guys kind of like have had enough now and you go, God, I'm knackered, and this guy's kind of like, they got all lost in the world of little bits of plastic on a sprue, then I completely understand that. Thank you very much for watching. It's late on a Sunday night over here in the UK now. It's 25 to 11. If people got to get up and go to work tomorrow morning, I understand. And if you've got to kind of like knock it on the head, if you're in New Zealand, then it's kind of like not even lunchtime yet, is it? So from that point of view, or probably about lunchtime. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching tonight. And I'm going to sit and peruse this for the next few minutes and see whether I can kind of like make it work. It's kind of be kind of good. Thanks for joining me as I've explored this little model tonight. That bit there's come apart, which is a bit annoying. But you know, that's what it is. And I will see you next time on McAfee Builder Worlds. Live stream 28th of December. I'm going to have to put that on my diary, and I'll have a plan. I don't know what I'm going to build next time, but we'll see how we go. Thanks very much for watching. Watch out for news about kits. They're going to be coming very soon, and those guys there will be the notification on my YouTube channel saying that they're available. So for those people who are still watching, I think it's probably the best time, like 25 to 11, to close this live stream tonight, and I'll see you again. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you again. Nice one. Magathea Builder Worlds out. Atwood, me too. I'd love to work that out at some point. Getting cross-pod shipping figured out. Gary, if you're still watching, can we look into that? And we'll post on that. It shouldn't be too much. They're not very expensive things. So from that point of view, even with some kind of like tariff that your president has put on us, it shouldn't be too much of a bother because, you know, they're not expensive things in the first place. I'll talk to you all very soon. We'll have information about that, international postage and all the rest of it on our model kits. I'll see you on the other side on the 28th if I don't see you before. Cheers, guys. Good night, everybody. Yeah, I know they did. I was trying to say goodbye. Yeah, but a lot of them have started up again because they kind of like go over it. So we'll see what we can work out. I'll see you again. Thanks for watching, everybody. Night.